Have you had have you ever
Have you ever had a dream that you
have you ever had a friend that you didn't want to bring around other friends? People may find them weird or unconventional, for you at least. Two total opposites that puzzles the outsiders and naysayers. But there is something about you two that is very accepting and understanding of one another. Well, I think we've all been here. And if you haven't, then what are you doing? Because these are the best friendships. You're not together because you can relate. You're together for your differences. And you'll find in these friendships you can truly learn new things from one another. I am pleased to find out that I am not the only one with an unusual friend. And if I have an unusual friend, that makes me unusual to them because they're not used to me. So that's pretty cool.
All right, my man.
No problemo.
Give me 5.
You see, in my case, I'm talking about either a human or a domesticated animal. But in these cases, we're talking about wild.
These are the colors that come. These are the colors that come.
Now, what comes to mind when you think of a cow? And then what comes to mind when you think of a wild leopard? What I really want to do is ask this cow and leopard, what do they think of each other? It's ambiguous how this unlikely friendship began, but considering the fact that the leopard was approximately 1 and the cow was a bit older and more mature, she treated the baby leopard like her own calf. In Antol village of Vadodara district of Gujarat, India, a farmer owned a few animals in his backyard, one specifically being a 3-year-old cow. One night, the farmer began to notice a wild leopard coming into his backyard, sitting, cuddling, and playing with his cow. But the most unusual part about it, not that the leopard didn't eat the cow, but the leopard kept coming back every night. The leopard may have posed no threat to the cow, considering the fact that he or she didn't harm any other animals in the backyard as well. The leopard visited on and off for about 6 weeks. They say photographers and reporters may have scared it off. But although this friendship was short-lived, it's extraordinary that prey and predator saw something special in one another. Next up, we have a real live wild boy.
Look, Darwin, the giraffe saved Donnie and he warned the herd.
And man's best friend. No, not that one. This one. Yes, it is proven that lions can be a man's best friend by a legend himself, Dean Schneider. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Please don't try this at home. Dean Schneider worked very hard to build a relationship and become a part of an actual lion pride. He left everything he knew back home in Switzerland, moved to South Africa, and built a sanctuary for animals called Hakuna Mipaka. And lions aren't the only animals he has or friends. Dean Schneider says his wife is a hyena. Her name is Chucky, and she's very adorable. He also takes care of other animals like cheetahs, monkeys, and so forth. Someone please give this man props for dedicating his life to providing a safe and healthy environment for these animals. The real life Lion King. And well, I've got another Disney classic for you. Bambi! Now there have been plenty of rabbit and deer sightings, but I am so excited to bring this dynamic duo to light.
Because it makes me feel like I live in an enchanted forest, guys.
Believe it or not, deer and bunnies getting along is pretty common. And I think this is where Disney's Bambi got it from. Don't quote me on that. But why are these two even friends in the first place? Deer and rabbits live their lives relatably, and some would even say that they are related due to the megafauna age millions of years ago, where mammals begin to evolutionize in size, some extremely large and others small. But this is pretty out there, with giraffes being related to hippos. Yeah. These two forest pals do have some things in common that show how they may be related and how they get along. They're both prey, herbivores, and they both possess a similar anatomy. It sounds like a classic kinship to me. You know what? All these incredible stories could seriously be their own Disney or DreamWorks movie. A monkey and a pigeon. Have you ever heard of that? A monkey and a pigeon. I don't know about you, but this is an odd couple that I have never seen before. At an animal sanctuary in China, a 12-week-old monkey called a macaque found a reason to live again after being abandoned by his mama and on a journey to improve his health. According to staff, his health got better, but he still seemed lifeless. That is until he met this white pigeon. The staff says the two have a real bond and they are never too far away from each other. The ocean has always been another world to me. Marine life is so fascinating, almost like aliens. It's one thing to have a relationship with an apex predator on land, but to have one with an apex predator in the sea is otherworldly. A diver named Jim Abernathy became best friends with a wild tiger shark he calls Emma. This friendship has been lasting for 20 plus years. Let me know in the comments if you have any friendships lasting that long. Being friends with a human versus befriending a tiger shark may or may not be harder. So for it to be 20 plus years is so beautiful. Jim Abernathy stated when Emma first swam by, she was afraid. Just like all wild sharks are inherently afraid of humans. Jim continues to say, under the condition he was in, crystal clear waters where they can see what they are doing. So most of the time it's a case of mistaken identity if you're in murkier waters. Jim Abernathy was intimidated, of course, at first getting to know Emma, but over the next few years he continued to dive and Emma continued to come back and visit. He would do things like rubbing her on her head, which she enjoyed very much. But he wasn't only rubbing her on the head for her enjoyment, he was doing this to gain her trust so he can start removing hooks from her mouth. Around the time that they've known each other, he's removed about 4 hooks from her mouth. Jim has found sharks to be surprisingly affectionate, let alone Emma not being the only shark who has come close for a few head rubs. Around the time of the pandemic, Jim was not able to dive and see Emma for about a year. And when he was finally able to visit again, Emma remembered him. He said at this point, she acts just like a Labrador retriever. Incredible. So if you have an unusual friend or you are the unusual weird friend, celebrate it, because these friendships are fascinating. And I think animals can teach us a lot about just showing up as we are and seeing the special in each other. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you learned something new, leave a comment, tell your friends, family, neighbors, or even your house pet that you just got the 411 from Everything Animals. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more content. Also, if you have time, check out my clothing website, Wild Child Array, all products designed by yours truly to express your inner wild child. And once again, I greatly appreciate you watching this video. Until next time, take care.